Wow.
Want to hold her?
I'm gonna
Want to get her?
Yeah. It's Chuck Gollop with Bright Birch, brokered by EXP, and today we are eating at the Smack Shack. Everyone talks about the Smack Shack. It's right in the center of the North Loop. It's an incredible seafood restaurant with a great theme and an owner that's very, very passionate about this business. Let's go inside, let's take a look and see what it's about. We're here with Josh Thoma, the founder, the creator, the owner, one of the partners for the Smack Shack.
Indeed, yeah.
Tell us about the history.
So originally this concept started with a food truck. In 2010, we were the first licensed food truck in Minneapolis. We decided to start it because there was really no casual seafood going on in Minneapolis. You know, Ken lobster, which is typically seen as this luxury, high-end item, can you sell it out of a truck in downtown Minneapolis? The answer was unequivocally yes. Turns out you can. You can sell a lot of it. After that, we went to the 1029 bar. Friends of ours own the bar, and so we convinced them and said, hey, how about lobster rolls? And they're like, well, we had sushi? And I'm like, no, you know, it's this East Coast sandwich, you know, cold lobster on warm griddled bread. And it was a hit at the 10 as well. After we were on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives over there, we started looking for a bigger brick and mortar spot, and here we are.
This place was built with a theme in mind, and you and I have talked before about this, but what's your thought on themes in restaurants?
You really need to think about what your concept is so that an average person on the street can walk in, spend around 30 seconds looking around, walk back outside, and explain it to another average non-restaurant guy on the street, which I think you should be able to do here. It's, you know, it's very casual. You've got our big lobster tanks downstairs. We've got the big boil downstairs. We'll probably take a look at that in a little while.
How are you finding high quality seafood in Minneapolis? We're not near an ocean.
Well, there's this crazy invention called an airplane. All of our lobster flies out of Logan International in Boston, and it flies directly to MSP, it gets picked up and gets brought here and put into our tanks. And it's live. I mean, live is live.
Yeah, and obviously they don't need their own tickets, they're just part of the cargo.
Right, they fly, you know, lobster class.
And you actually have an interesting history here in the Minneapolis restaurant scene. Mm-hmm. Can you tell everybody how you came to do it?
You know, I was cooking in college and I started working in nicer and nicer restaurants. And I trained under one guy, Jay Sparks, for 7 years. Left in 1997 and opened my first restaurant, La Belle Vie, in Stillwater. You know, and then from there, I've done a bunch of other restaurants. I did Solera. You know, I helped start Bar La Grassa and Barrio. In 2010, I met up with my business partner, Kevin Fitzgerald, and we decided to start Smack Shack. And now we have a location in the airport, obviously the 1029 bar, and we open in November in Rosedale.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. Can you give us a little look around the place? I know you got some cool stuff here.
Yeah, we got a bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, let's go take a look around.
Okay. So this machine, where did it come from? What is it? What does it do?
It's kind of a hybrid, basically large lobster boil. So when these guys are back here cooking, what they'll do is they'll take the lobster, put it into a seafood bag, they'll look at the clock, they'll write the time on here, and then I call it the lobster go round. There we go. This is a typical Maine lobster, and you can tell that it's Maine lobster because it has claws. We buy only hard shell lobsters here. So you can tell this blue-greenish color where you see kind of on the joints. That means it's a hard shell, which means that the meat is all the way filled up inside the claws. I don't know if you'll notice too, but they have two different kinds of claws. They have the pincher claw and the crusher claw. So this is used for kind of crushing, opening clams. This is actually used for, you know, kind of the fast switch muscle stuff that they might use to bring food up to their face. So when you drop it back down in, the seawater that we keep in the tanks is usually around 34 degrees, and they'll live in the tanks for 7 to 10 days. Down she goes.
Yeah. See you, little girl. Good luck with everything. And what is this massive thing for?
We've got this big brick here. It's easier for us to just clack the claws for you. We can do it at the table if you want, but, you know, we're pretty good at doing it. And then when it's time to fill up the boil, turn on the boil. So the boil is about 100 gallons, and we make it fresh every day. So it's got about 50 pounds of onions, salt, Old Bay in it.
Oh, wow.
And some lobster lubba-dubba.
Lubba-dubba. I don't want to know what that is, I don't think. But this is not a common machine.
No, so this is you know, I basically worked with a metal fabricator to design this.
And during like a busy dinner rush, I assume they're all full.
Yeah, they get filled up.
Yeah.
It's busy. There's a lot of action. It's kind of cool. It's in the center of the restaurant. When you walk in, you walk right up to it.
Well, this is great. I learned more about lobsters than I know about my own kids. So that's cool. They're also more boilable.
Well, yeah, your kids don't take real hot baths like that, though.
Good point. Good point. And they're certainly not that organized. So, no, I really appreciate. I know you're a busy guy. I know it's a busy restaurant, so I appreciate you giving us some time to walk around, check out the Smack
Yeah,
Shack.
thanks for having me.
Oh my God, I'm so full. I should not have eaten all that food they gave us during the photo shoot. Okay, I'm Chuck Gollop with the Hungry Minnesotan. Thanks for joining us today on our adventure at the Smack Shack. If you can think of a favorite neighborhood restaurant of yours that you want us to feature, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear.